Sarah Mikesell with the Poultry site, and today we're here with Josh Rehberger. He is a microbial ecology scientist at Arm & Hammer Animal and Food Production. Thanks for being with us today, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Very good. We're here at the Arm & Hammer Research and Innovation Lab in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and sitting here in the lab with you. Tell me a little bit about the evolution of microbial ecology.
Sure. Microbial ecology has changed quite a bit over the years. We started with band-based methods that were really suited to look at the most predominant members of the microbiome and really struggled with throughput. We moved to quantitative PCR, which relies on specific targets, so a prior understanding of those microbiomes, which is a little more friendly for the throughput, but is limited by your understanding of the community to begin with. More recently, we've switched to sequencing, which allows us to get a much deeper look into the microbiome without having to have any prior understanding.
Josh, what is the microbiome?
The microbiome is the collection of microorganisms in an environment. So bacteria, fungi, and archaea, and for us it's usually in the gastrointestinal tract of food production animals. They're really important in establishing the health of the animal through immune interactions and establishing the correct microbiome for the health of that animal.
Very good. And how does it impact the health of an animal?
It can impact the health of the animal a couple of ways. The correct microbiome will speed up the immune development of that animal in a way that can positively increase performance, and can also help to exclude pathogenic organisms.
How do you use animal models to develop targeted microbial solutions?
We use animal models to look at the microbiome and determine what the best succession is for performance of that animal.
How have these changes impacted our understanding of the microbiome?
So it's really just about generating more data, starting by covering more samples and then looking deeper within the microbiome inside those communities.
Very good. And it is all about data, right? I mean, that's how you're going to be able to move microbial ecology forward then.
Yeah, generating more data helps us understand the communities deeper and allows us to better generate associations to health status, which is really important for the customer.
Very good. And how is this type of data applied to solve customer challenges in a production environment?
So I think the most important thing is that association to health status that allows us to either point out the microbiome or the profile of a microbiome that's beneficial, or point to specific members within that microbiome.
Very good. And the microbiome is really becoming common nomenclature, right? In the industry, in the livestock industry, and in other industries, right?
Yeah, it really started with the sequencing of the human microbiome. That got a lot of attention and became a phrase that has become much more ubiquitous now.
Very good. I mean, I'm going to microbiome conferences where that's all they're talking about is the interaction in the microbiome. And I was just curious, like, this evolution that you've seen over your career it seems like it's been dramatic in just the last 4 or 5 years.
We went from generating probably close to 1 million reads, maybe 5 or a little more years ago, to close to 1 billion reads today.
Oh my gosh, that's just amazing.
It's a lot of data.
And then how are you using that data?
We're using that data really to answer a couple of questions, to point out, to make correlations to health status, whether that's in a beneficial way, looking at good performing animals, or whether that's related to a disease.
Very good. And how do you use that data to really move the industry forward here at Arm & Hammer?
So it starts with animal models, and then using those animal models and all of this data to drive those associations to develop new products.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for all your time.
It's been a
today.
pleasure.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Poultry site.